What's up, guys? It's your boys Wokey, back at it with another Chris Watts video. And today from a different YouTube channel I've never seen before, but highly sent to me by multiple people, of the Great Lockdown YouTube channel. But this is NUTGATE. Did you pick up on this overlooked clues from Nicole Kessinger? I'm intrigued. So let's take a look at it, watch it together. If you don't want to watch with me, I understand. The link is in the description, so if you want to click it and watch it by yourself, I completely understand. But for those that want to watch with me, I'm glad you're here. But let's get into the video. But first, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting that white bar icon down at the bottom right. Hit that bell icon next to it, so when I do post videos like this one, you guys will get that little ring notification that I've posted that video. And then you guys can watch, comment, like, and share. And again, thank you so very much for the love and support that you guys continuously show on my channel. My channel would not be what it is without you guys. So keep on doing what you guys are doing. And hopefully, one day, we will reach that 100K goal. And again, support the channel that made this video. Link is in the description. Go subscribe, comment, like, and share. And with that being said, let's get into this video.
Hello YouTube watchers, welcome back. Today I'm going to be covering a story I wasn't initially interested in. It's about Celeste and her tree nut allergy, which was apparently fairly severe. I thought it was an open and shut case. Cindy gave Shanann's children ice cream with nuts in it, and her sister-in-law Jamie, shortly after, put out a bowl of mixed nuts. It wasn't until I listened to the Kessinger interviews, believe it or not, that I decided to dig a bit further because something she said triggered me to question the narrative that's been widely told about the events referred to as NUTGATE. She also adds an element to the story that I think many may have overlooked, and it seems the truth lies somewhere in between. Of course. And it is also clear that NUTGATE had nothing to do with nuts. It had to do with competition, control, and respect on both sides. That's right, I said on both sides.
Okay.
To get to the bottom of NUTGATE, I've compiled a list of testimonials.
And again, I'm watching and reacting. So for those people that say, Zwokey is hating on the Watts family, I'm watching, reacting, and commentating. Calm down.
From various sources to see if we can get an idea of what story makes the most sense. I have a version of the events as told by Ronnie Watts, Cindy Watts, Chris Watts, Shanann Watts, one of Shanann's friends, and of course, the side piece, Nicole.
Side piece.
And as I'm putting these clips together, it's reminding me of one of those sitcom episodes, you know, where multiple characters are having flashbacks to an event and everyone's telling a different version, and one person will finish telling their story and then another one will jump in and they'll say, no, that's not right. This is what really happened. And then you hear that cheesy flashback music.
Yep.
Well, anyhow.
I just watched that episode of Big Bang Theory yesterday. I don't know why there's so much hate on Big Bang Theory.
Cue cheesy flashback music because we're going to start with side piece Nicole's story.
Yeah. Side piece.
Does everybody talk about medical concerns with either of the children?
Well, I know Cece is allergic to not peanuts.
Tree nuts.
Like pine nuts. Pine nuts.
So she has a nut allergy.
Yes.
Did they take meds?
Yeah, I know that she had like an...
There's a lot that Nicole Kessinger knew that she shouldn't have known as a mistress.
EpiPen, but as far as I know, she didn't have any meds, but I never asked. Like, I was just told, like, she has a pretty severe allergy. And
enough to carry an EpiPen, that's pretty severe.
Yeah, while we're on this, so when he was in North Carolina, this is all, like, hearsay now.
You do that as a sigh of relief. Or like, here we go.
Because it's like, this is not a conversation. Like, he's telling me this stuff, but who knows exactly what happened. But he went out there to go see his family and her family. And while he was in town, before he went out to North Carolina, I guess his mother had accidentally, like, not exposed her to something with nuts, but had, like, given a product, I think it was like ice cream, to a different kid that could have traces of nuts or something. I
Man, she sure knows a lot.
don't know, but it was like his daughter was fine, but
And it's funny that she can remember this, the whole NUTGATE thing, or the whole story about who gave or who had the ice cream, stuff like that, but she can't remember the phone call. She can't remember where she was the morning of the murders. She couldn't remember what she did this day with Chris. Like, but she can remember this?
she was like in the range of contamination, and I think his wife was very upset about that. And when he got to North Carolina, he told me that he was supposed to spend like
Oh, his wife? I thought you wait, his wife? That's a little right there. That's a screw up because I thought they were separating. I thought they were divorcing.
half time with them, half the time with her
She would do anything and everything not to say Shanann's name.
family, and that was supposed to be what it was. I don't know. But he said that he went to go see his family, and they weren't answering the phone for like a day or two before he went out there. And then when he got there, there was a note on the door that said, son, if you step by, we're at the beach. And they ignored him for like most of the time that he was out there. And
His own family?
yes, his mom, his dad, and
Wait.
his sister.
What's the significance? Do you know why?
Yeah, he said, and again, I don't know what is true with this man anymore and what's not, but he told me that, like, leading up to it, I was like, well, why are your folks, like, ignoring you? And I was, like, really concerned about this. Like, every single day he would talk to me when he was out there, and I was like, you talked to your family today? You talked to your family today? Did you talk to your dad? What happened? Did you talk to
Oh, family's important, yet he destroyed his family for you?
him? No, I didn't. Or, yeah, I talked to my mom. Well, what'd she say? Are you going to hang out with him? Like, I wanted him to see his people because it's important. Family is an important thing. You know, it just needs to function properly. And
Sure.
and so I was like, well, and he was like, well, they're ignoring me. And I was like, what do you think happened? And he was like, I'm not really sure, but I think something was said between my wife.
So your family ignores you. They don't go to your wedding, but then yet you commit murder and, oh, we're here for you, Chris.
And them during that incident, and he's like, because
The
every time
peanut
yes, that happened
nuts.
before he got there, yes. And he's like, because every time that I try to, I talk about possibly going over there to see if they're home, she gets upset about it. And I was like, okay. And he told me that his mom and his wife did not get along at all. His mom didn't even show up to his wedding because she's like really did not care for Shanann.
I think that's
so
messed
again,
up
I don't
myself,
know what's
but
true and what's not, but I just know that there was like some tension there.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like that part is like I feel like it's almost third party, so that's why it's
Sure.
like I didn't even
Well, but
bring
it
up
came from
either.
him to you, so it's not. It is something that whether it's important or not, we can.
I'd still like to know why Nicole Googled Ronnie Watts. Just wondering, why would you Google somebody? Because you either want to know more about them, you want to find their contact information.
Validate that. I'm sure we will be having some conversations with family. What does it mean? I don't know. But,
Yeah, I don't know either, but I just know
so
like
maybe I don't know.
well, and then he ended up seeing them on the last like full day that he was there, and they told him supposedly that she had gotten really upset and then screamed and yelled in front of Chris's sister's kids that are very young, and to his mom and to his dad, and said like, "You're never going to see Chris again. You're never going to see me. You're never going to see the babies," and just like threatened them, and then like walked off. And I guess that was the incident that happened prior to him coming out there, and then she didn't tell him about it. She just like let it go, and then he just spent all week trying to figure out why his family was like not trying to be involved.
Gotcha.
Oh my god, she is so full of shit. Family is important. Meanwhile, she's screwing another woman's husband. Anyhow, let me start
She's not wrong. Not at all.
off by saying we should take everything side piece says, obviously, with a dose of skepticism. But I don't.
Oh, what was that?
Let me start off by saying we should take everything side piece says, obviously, with a dose of skepticism. But I don't see why she would go out of her way to make up a story surrounding this particular situation.
Right?
2 takeaways. from what she said. Cece was within range of contamination, so let's file that for later. But what's more juicy was the fact that Chris's family ignored him during the beginning of his visit, and I do believe this to be true. And again, I'll explain later. But for now, let's hear from her lover.
Shanann had a story my mom had.
I love the the going back into time.
Story. Like, whatever happened, I'll ask my 10-year-old nephew. Probably can tell me what actually happened.
Well, they both have their feelings for good reasons.
Your 10-year-old nephew actually told. Hold on.
Shanann had a story my mom had a story. Like, whatever happened, I'll ask my 10-year-old nephew. Probably can tell me what actually happened.
Well, they both have their feelings for good reasons, and they both didn't see it the other person's way. And
yeah, and like maybe I didn't talk to my parents from then on until like August 6th, and like my dad took that whole week off.
You didn't talk to your parents from then on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because like Shanann was like, do not talk to them, do not call them, do not do anything.
Is that what she said?
Yeah, and Cece's birthday was 17th, but I think the actual birthday party was like a couple days after.
In August?
July. Yeah. And like my mom, my dad was gonna go, but then there was like a post on Facebook about allergies and stuff like that. Shanann made him, and I was like, no, I just can't do it anymore. It's like it's.
He perceived that as her taking a shot type thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. She always says she never, put those posts directed at anybody, but she had a method.
If you read them, you know who they're talking about.
She had a method to the madness, and you can see it. Mm-hmm.
Which she had every right to post. It was her Facebook. I hate how people will sit there and say, you shouldn't post that on Facebook. If you don't like what they're posting on Facebook, unfriend them. Facebook is your place to talk about what you want to talk about. I mean, you don't want to go on there and say every swear word under the sun and talk about like crap, but she was allowed to talk about her feelings and all that stuff, and people are so against people and posting on Facebook. That's what it's for.
But I wish I could have just took more time just to fix that. Because like I wanted my parents to be involved. Like since like the whole wedding thing, and then up to that, it was like my mom, my sister were always like combating with Shanann, combating with them. My dad was always cool. Like, just like me, just like go with the flow. Like I just want everybody to get along. I do.
Chicks,
I
man.
loved your dad.
Oh, he's the best.
Isn't he? I
So,
loved your dad.
I'm sorry, keep going.
That's cool. I just wish I could have just when we were at the beach in August. Like my dad was supposed to take the whole week off just so we could see the kids and see me and like grab a cookout at my sister's house or something. And then, but we just pretty much spent 5 days at the beach. And Shanann had booked it, so I mean, I don't want to say punishment for them not to see the kids, but I wanted them to see it and see them. I wish I could have fixed all that. I even when I was
They were on the same beach, but they were separated by 5 miles.
at the beach. I told Shanann that it was more like what was going on was more like I feel like cause my dad's my hero. I feel like I've lost something in my life. I haven't been talking to him for 3 weeks. I haven't been seeing the kids for 2 weeks, FaceTime or anything. And I wanted them to be able to have that relationship. And she was pretty much gung ho, she tried to.
I find it ironic that Chris wants his parents to be with the kids, the grandkids, and then he goes and murders them and removes them from the world. Yeah, Chris, that was the best idea you've had.
My daughter, giving her pink. I don't think she gave it to him.
And was that her stance? Is that your mom
Put something in front of Cece.
To kill her, or
No,
just
just
didn't care? Didn't pay attention.
She thinks that allergies and this state of age is people think, oh,
it's made up kind of thing.
You'll be fine.
I can tell you right now, allergies are not made up. I'm battling it so bad with my eyes and my lungs and my nose, and I don't know what my allergies are, but some people can be highly allergic.
She'll just have a rash. She'll be fine. I've seen CC, the first time. Well, I've seen a picture of when he had cashew the first time. It wasn't good. And then she had kiwi the second time, and then the same thing happened. And I know it's real.
You know it's serious, yeah.
Yeah, it's not it wasn't her throat closed up, but she broke out in this full body rash. It looked really crazy looking.
She could die.
Nothing with a throat happened. But
So did that make you angry at your mom for doing that?
yeah, I mean, I just I told her you need to think, you need to pay attention. Just because another kid can have something doesn't mean another kid can have something. Because like we were at that birthday party at Jeremy's that Sunday, you know, they had this cake there. Like Bella wanted it so bad. I'm like, can't do it because Cece can't have it. She was like, yeah, okay. And I'll
See, that's what's another ironic part is, you know, how Bella couldn't have the cake because then Cece would want it. He was still protecting his daughters the day before the murders, and then just the next day he goes and murders them after the day before he was protecting them. That's where I think somebody else was inside this case and took care of the girls.
the other kids were like, yeah, they can't have the cake, you know. Like I just kind of took them off and gave them some like one of those frozen pops or something. But
I'd rather
you know,
have
it's
a
just like
frozen
you got
pop.
to learn that just because one kid can have something, there's another kid that can't have it for a legitimate reason. Like you know, she couldn't have done it, but you know, that's the kind of talk I had with her when Shannon called me. I think it was maybe like middle of July or something when she told me all this had happened. That's when I called my mom and talked to them for a while, and then they're just like, you know, they just couldn't deal with her anymore. Shannon just kind of like, you know, they like flipped out. My nephew told Bella to go hide behind the curtain because I don't think your mom was going to let you come over here again or something like that.
So it got heated.
Oh, it was bad.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a last straw between them, I think.
Like in the same room or over the phone?
No, they were at
They were- and so they were
my
really
mom's house, yeah. But Cece and Bella and my niece and nephew were there.
Okay.
How did Shanann find out about the ice cream thing?
Because Chanel was there, and I guess they were all sitting one of those couches, kind of like a U, and my niece went into the kitchen, and she knew what ice cream was. She'd been there.
So it's not like your mom gave it to her? Like she got her own ice cream?
She went in the freezer, got it, went out, and sat beside Cece, and started eating. So, but like, it's just a matter of like Cece could go like,
Right.
like that. I don't know.
But it's the fact that the Ruseks made sure that there was no nuts. They went and found food that didn't have any of that stuff in there. But then the other side of the family, they just bought whatever they wanted, and it's just they didn't take the precautions, you know, that you would have to take for a little itty bitty girl that could go into anaphylactic shock or.
What would happen if she just got it on her hand? But like I know on like the prick test, you know, on the back, it's like a well.
All right, so Chris's story about the range of contamination aligns with the side piece, but in his version of events, he claims his wife refused to allow him to contact his family. He also says his dad was going to go to Cece's birthday party, but didn't because of a Facebook post Shanann put up about nut allergies. But as we'll see later, she made several posts about NUTGATE. One was in reference to her mother-in-law. She put her grievance out there for everyone to see. Chris does say he spoke to his mother, and I can only imagine how furious she was that he was taking Shanann's side. And this would be the competition component of NUTGATE.
But in my belief is when you're with your wife, you side with your wife. God has intended for us to leave our families to find that specific person and start a new family. So all your attention goes into your spouse and then your kids and then your family that you had left. And some people think that, oh no, my family is my family. I will leave my husband for my family. It's like,
But why did he side with his wife? Because Twats was clearly checked out of that relationship, so he must have been placating Shanann for some reason. There's mixed messages all over the place, and I think Chris was keeping Shanann on the back burner, just keeping her warm while he pursued things with the side piece. He wasn't going to
That is interesting that he was defending Shanann against his mother when he was with Nicole. That's interesting.
cut the one relationship off completely until he was certain beyond all doubt that the other relationship was secured. And I see this a lot with people, especially guys, no offense to my male listeners, but
Hi.
they can't be alone. They need the security of a relationship.
We do. I'm not gonna lie. I do enjoy my alone time, but I like to be with my spouse and intimate and touchy-feely, cuddly. It's just men love to love.
And in Chris's case, I think it was also the fact that he was too much of an idiot to live on his own.
Oh,
So let's hear now from the loving mother.
Now tell us about the ice cream. The stories we hear are there were peanuts or pistachios or sprinkled or cones or cups.
There was a bag of pistachios that I
Oh, I haven't heard this.
had for my grandson, and they were on the countertop, and she said, "Oh my gosh, Mimi, you have pistachios." I said, "I know. Put them on top of the stove." And she put them on top of not on top of the stove, but on top of the refrigerator, and that was the end of it. It was a bag that was unopened for my grandson that I forgot that I had on the countertop, and that was all it was. And there was no bags of peanuts, tree nuts, or anything out in the open. My house is small, so small that wherever Bella and Cece were, I mean, you knew where they were. I mean, they were right there. We have a very small house, and there is no way anybody could have gotten into anything, not even my refrigerator, without me knowing.
Well,
So I was always right there.
Well, did you give the
But then we heard that they were outside.
girls ice cream?
I gave, Dylan went in the freezer and got a vanilla ice cream, a Walmart vanilla ice cream. And, yeah, Dylan did get that.
And that was the big culprit, was the Walmart
And
vanilla?
that was the culprit.
Okay, so I'm guessing it's probably this one, the vanilla ice cream. I'm just curious. It might not say anything at all. So I typed in, does Walmart vanilla ice cream have nuts in it? Yes, the label for the Walmart's Great Value ice cream states it may contain traces of nuts such as almonds, cashews, pecans, and peanuts. It is important to check the specific product label for its allergen statement, as the presence of nuts is a may contain. Warning due to potential cross-contamination during manufacturing. So, yeah.
That was when Cece had a meltdown and wanted the same thing. But Cece
She was 2 to 3 years old. Of course she's going to have a little temper tantrum because she didn't get ice cream.
could have had ice cream because we went to Walmart when they came here, and she had.
Couldn't they have gotten like ice cream that was gluten-free, nut-free? Like they have those type of things so that people can enjoy these certain delicious foods without turning into a balloon.
Ice cream, not in the same cup, but she had ice cream, and she could have gotten that ice cream. And yes, I did say that you can't always have what you want. I did say that, because Cece had the ice cream that all Shanann had to do was go in there and get Cece her ice cream and put it in a bowl.
Right, and that's right.
That's all she had to do, and nothing would have come of it.
And you took her to Walmart, right? And you spent a ton of money
Yes,
so
I
that
did.
she could have exactly what she wanted there.
Absolutely. When they came down here, I said, let's go to Walmart and get everything that you need. And they got everything they wanted and they needed. Everything. There was nothing that I don't know what I could have done.
So at the point that
That's all I could have done.
at the point that the ice cream started happening, then your daughter-in-law could have gone to the freezer, picked out the ice cream that was on her approved list,
Absolutely.
and scooped out.
She could have gotten her the ice cream. That's all there was nothing she couldn't have had that she didn't already have in our house. She had everything that they needed, and I did the best we could. That's all. I don't know what else I could have done it.
So when the ice cream came out, your daughter-in-law started yelling?
Yeah. She said, I know that this isn't fair.
I feel like something's missing. I don't know. I just feel like there's something missing.
I know this is hard for you, Stacey. And she went on and on and on and on. And that's when I said, you can't have everything that you want. Go back in there. Go get her the ice cream she needs. That she wants. That was it. I don't know what else I could have done.
What did she say to you before she left?
She said, she came charging down the hallway and said, "You tried to kill my child." And then that's when it was over. I was done.
There's nothing she could have done. She didn't know what more she could do. Ironically, now she tells Chris every chance she gets that she's there for him and will do anything for him. He just has to ask. I wonder if she's wishing she had just sucked up her pride or whatever and just did her best not to clash with Shanann for the very short time she was going to be out there with their grandchildren. So most versions of NUTGATE speak of Jamie Watts putting out a bowl of mixed nuts. Cindy is referring to a bag of pistachios. Remember this point because Shanann will confirm
There's confusion there.
this later. She also says that Jamie had only popped by to drop her children off. She was not actually present during NUTGATE, and this, I believe, based on a Facebook post we'll see later. Another thing that isn't included, otherwise this would have been a 15-minute clip, it's where Cindy says she wanted to go to the birthday party, but due to Shanann's Facebook posts, she didn't feel she would be welcome. And we're going to look at what she was referring to in a few minutes. Last, if Cindy had purchased an approved ice cream for Cece, it would be very reasonable for Shanann to just scoop it out and put it in a bowl.
The ice cream was $7.
And Cece would have been none the wiser. She would have just been happy to have ice cream. But Shanann didn't do that, and this is the control component of NUTGATE. She was not going to cave into Cindy. What will the senior twats recall?
But they come over and Cece's got a nut allergy, which we knew about. And my wife had bought some ice cream because actually one of them had nuts in it. We had it up on the upper shelf, which Cece couldn't get to it. She got in the freezer. And my other granddaughter, Dylan, had a little single serving ice cream cup, a little small thing, like you buy at Walmart or whatever. And was in the bottom row, and she went there and got one. Other granddaughter. And Cece got upset because she couldn't have one, and so she said, "Well, honey, you can't have that. Might have that, so we haven't checked it yet. Whatever. So you can't have it." And Shanann went off on her. So it's not fair she can have one, and my child can have it, and all that type of stuff. And boy said, "Well, maybe it's a learning experience. So she'd like to learn sometimes. She can't have everything she wants." And a few minutes later, she came out there and said, "You just tried to kill my child." Screaming at my wife. And I wasn't there, but this is another about two grandkids that she didn't know what I was doing. And so he said, "You actually think I would try to hurt one of the children?" And she said, "You just tried to kill my child." And Cindy said, "Well,
I know it's hard to hear, so I do apologize, guys.
I think you just need to go and leave." And she said, "Well, I'm not coming back."
I'm at max volume on everything, so.
It was a second visit for her daddy, and that's been getting her. And for the rest of 4 or 5 weeks, and that was the part of the second week, the next 4 weeks. No contact with her, getting 2 grandkids, one of those 2 grandkids, they're 30 miles away.
Hopefully you could all understand Ronnie this time without the subtitles. He says there was, in fact, ice cream with nuts in the freezer, or whatever, but he wasn't actually there, so he unsurprisingly backs up his wife's story.
Oh.
And Ronnie's input on this situation, other than that one fact, doesn't really add much to the story. I just wanted an excuse to throw in or whatever. Now, the next version is Shanann's, as told through her good friend in North Carolina, who she discussed the situation with shortly after it happened. Before I start, Shanann's mother has a similar account, but I'm using the friend's affidavit as I feel it's slightly more objective.
Oh.
And I'm not going to read the whole dissertation. I'll just summarize the key points.
Okay.
Shanann says her mother-in-law handed the girls a bowl of ice cream. She noticed some pieces of something in the ice cream and asked if it had nuts, to which Cindy says, "Just a little." Shanann explains to the girls that they cannot eat that ice cream. She says Cindy again tried to give the girls the ice cream, saying, "Your mommy doesn't know what she's talking about. This ice cream won't hurt you." At which point Shanann sends them out of the kitchen without any ice cream. She confronts Cindy and says, "Please respect the girls' dietary restrictions. Ask me before you give the girls anything to eat, and I will tell you if it's okay." But here's what I think really set Shanann off, and I totally believe this part happened. Cindy waved her hand in dismissal at Shanann and told her she was just being overprotective.
Yes.
And later Shanann confirms what Cindy said earlier about commenting that Cece has to learn she can't always get what she wants. And that brings us to the respect component.
It's not what she wants, it's what she can't have.
Of NUTGATE. I'm sure this wasn't the first time Cindy undermined Shanann's parenting skills or authority, but Shanann was determined to make it the last. And let's not forget, they had spent the previous weekend together, and I'm sure lingering tensions were starting to flare up again. Not to mention, she was feeling her husband was being distant, she was pregnant, and might have been looking for a way to connect with him, and perhaps she thought this feud would be it.
All these things just were, it's like putting it in a cauldron, and they just went, this added, and this added, and this added, and this added, and boom! It just, that's what, yeah.
Now we're going to look at the Facebook post.
Okay,
Shanann tells the
I would like to see this post.
Same story about the bowl of nuts to both her friend and her mother, but in the Facebook post, it more aligns with Cindy's story, a less embellished version of events, where she confirms it was in fact a bag of pistachios, and it was on a shelf of a kitchen island. We also see that she says her mother-in-law let her other granddaughter eat an ice cream with tree nuts in front of Cece. No mention of the mother-in-law giving any of the children nutty ice cream. She also confirms the statement, she has to learn she can't always get what she wants. Now, if Cindy was forcing a bowl of nutty ice cream on Cece, that would imply she's saying she could have what she wants. And that's in complete contradiction to the other statement. For Shanann to have gotten so upset,
let's see, hold on, go back. I want to read this post. So, I need to vent to people who understand. My 2.5 is severely anaphylactic to most all tree nuts, and we are visiting in-laws. I specifically said we can't have them in the house when we stay. My mill stated that we don't buy them. I specifically mentioned the ones she is deathly anaphylactic to as well. I arrived, and on the floor shelf of her center island was a bag of pistachios, big bag one. I removed it immediately. Today, she lets her other granddaughter eat an ice cream that has all tree nuts in front of and next to my 2.5-year-old child that can't have any. Should have just made sure that the ice cream was all non-nut infested. I said I didn't appreciate it, and I removed my daughter. Her response was she has to learn she can't always get what she wants. I'm beyond furious, and she's telling me I'm overreacting when my child's life is at risk. I see the side of Shanann. I would do anything to protect my kid, even if it was against the in-laws or my parents, or you don't always, a lot of people don't want to be told that they're being bad parents or they're doing something wrong as a parent, or your parenting is different than mine, or my parenting is better than yours. We don't want to be told that.
Ice cream on Cece, that would imply she's saying she could have what she wants. And that's in complete contradiction to the other statement. For Shanann to have gotten so upset, I do believe the ice cream in question was either made in a facility that also processed food with nuts, or the other granddaughter helped herself to that nutty ice cream that Ronnie referenced earlier. This makes sense based
I'm really sorry blank got ice cream out Cece couldn't have.
Based on Jamie Watt's response to Shanann's post, which reads, I'm really sorry Dylan got out ice cream that Cece couldn't have.
Look at the difference. 39 weeks and then almost, well, actually, it's 11, 12 weeks later.
Also indicating she wasn't actually there. But I do believe the cousin sat near Cece with this non-approved ice cream, and Cece probably got excited and wanted some. And again, Shanann could have just given Cece the approved ice cream and had her eat it away from the other child, or discussed with Cindy perhaps replacing the other child's ice cream with the approved one, or Cindy should have said, oh my, sorry, I didn't notice she took the wrong ice cream. Let me tell her to eat it outside, or something like that.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that this was so easily resolved if it were really just about nuts. Now, returning for a moment to the letter from Shanann's friend outlining her version of NUTGATE, and also in texts with Chris that his parents were no-shows at Cece's birthday party, Shanann says she tried to call, text, send reminders, and tried to get confirmation that his parents were on their way, but no word from the senior twats. But
so Shanann was trying to make amends and invite them and keep them in Cece's life, and they weren't having any of it.
As we see, not only did she put up that initial post about her mother-in-law, a discussion ensued where she made reference to her mother-in-law several times with F you.
Yeah, she's young, only 60. She's completely understands. My husband called her after he got off of work and told her he did not appreciate how she handled the situation and teasing my 2-year-old with ice cream and putting her at risk to exposure. She also had EO and asthma. Her response to my husband was, "This is a learning experience to my 2-year-old to realize that she can't get all what she wants." And to say my daughter needs to learn she can't get what she wants, blank. You are teasing my kids a toy at a store, fine, but letting a little girl eat ice cream in front of her and 5 inches away?
And in one example,
I mean, I'm not biased, but I see Shanann's point.
I found she was not using the initials. And there were several subsequent posts about nut allergies after that first initial post. Shanann was on a scorched earth campaign, and if I were Cindy, I wouldn't have gone to the party either. And as someone who has a bit of the Italian and a lot of the Irish blood, I've had relatives yell and scream, sometimes at me, and then they call the next day as if nothing happened.
Exactly.
And I wonder if that was the dynamic with Shanann's family, whereas the Twats family keep things bottled up, and they show displeasure by not acknowledging you and by holding grudges.
The silent treatment is deadly, man. The silent treatment is... I hate the silent treatment.
So very different communication styles between the two families. But back to the party. Cece's not going to remember that her paternal grandparents didn't attend her milestone third birthday bash. If it were a more important event, I would expect them to suck it up. But considering they didn't attend their own son's wedding, I think I know where they stand. The pettiness continued with Cece's birthday present. Cindy sent it to the Frederick, Colorado home. And when Shanann's friend Nicole told her it had arrived, Shanann told her to put return to sender on it and have it shipped back. Considering Cindy shipped the gift, it corroborates the story the side piece told about Chris's parents ignoring him. They probably had no intention of seeing him, which is why the gift was shipped to Colorado. Finally, we come to Chris's assertion that Shanann would not allow him to speak to his family. If that were true, he's the biggest cuck of all times.
Ooh.
But Shanann asks him in this text to call his father and discuss the situation. They both discuss and confirm his family blocked them from Facebook.
So that just shows right there. Shanann told Chris, you should talk to your dad about this whole situation. She didn't say you can never talk to them again. Like, this whole snowball has been exploded, peed on, thrown away, turned into water, refrozen. Like, this could have gone so easily. But the turmoil of this and the pettiness and the I'm trying to find the words, the hatred towards each other is ridiculous.
He says he feels the relationship with his family has been damaged, but not because Shanann told him not to see them. We now know it's because his family didn't want to see him, at least not as long as he was taking his wife's side in this matter. So I hope that provides more clarity on the NUTGATE saga, especially if you had only heard the version I opened the video with. It's not all...
I've never heard the thing with Cindy.
One-sided. It took two to do the NUTGATE tango, and tango they did. And this was a long video, so if you're still listening, thanks for hanging in there. I prefer to keep things short and punchy, but
I like it.
Some stories need to be covered in one continuous video because in this case, everything was so interconnected. I'd also like to think that after a couple dozen videos, we're getting comfortable with each other, and you may not mind spending a little more time with me.
Or me. But definitely interesting. It proves the fact that it wasn't Shanann's fault. It was... I'm not going to state anything because I don't need the haters coming after me again. But I'm just watching and reacting. But this proves that it wasn't Shanann that was the problem. So Put your thoughts down below. I definitely enjoyed this woman's breakdown, this woman's analysis on each and every part, how she used the chunks from each person and so forth about their memory recall. I definitely enjoyed that. Comment your thoughts. Hit the like button, subscribe, share with your friends. We'll see you guys in the next video. Please take care, be safe. As always, keep nerding on, and we will see you guys in the next video. Peace.